The Inside Edge Network is brought to you by Fanatics. Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans, dedicated to our favorite teams and athletes to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. We're talking NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, National Hockey League, the NCAA. I'm a wrestling guy as well. We got WWE apparel available too. It allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. It's right there in the corner of your screen. Get your official gear. Level up with us at fanatics.com.
Hey, welcome in everybody to another episode of Real Talk with Papa Moon. And yep, you've guessed it. I'm your host, Papa Moon. On today's episode, I'm going to have the gentleman to my right, possibly your left. His name is Sul. He's a musician from Cleveland, but we're going to dive into a different part of Sul today. So, welcome in.
Hey, thanks for having me, Papa Moon. Thanks for having me, Papa Moon. It's always a blessing, always a pleasure to interact with you and your son. I'm just so grateful for the opportunity today that was presented to me, and I look forward to diving in and dissecting this individual that's in front of you.
Absolutely, and I'm grateful for you to come in because I've been waiting on this one.
Yeah, me too, man. It's been, but you know, patience is a virtue. Everything happens when it's supposed to.
Absolutely. How are you doing today?
I am doing well. I mean, I woke up. I'm breathing. I have a smile because I'm just happy because even in the midst of my storms that may come against me, somehow I'm still standing. And that alone is enough to rejoice in.
Amen. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, like I said, we're going to tell your story today. So for those who don't know Sul, can you tell them a little bit about you?
Well, a little bit about me, Papa, is I am a individual who is a person who is after change. I want to be the change that I want to see, and I believe that starts with the man in the mirror. I am an individual who is a full-time dad. I am an individual who is an artist. I am an individual who gives a word of a day of encouragement to others because I realize sometimes the only word that you'll get to see is the word that comes forth from another individual. And sometimes your strength is enough to help another person find strength in the midst of their weak space. So that's who I am.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you mentioned you're a father
Yeah.
So I remember when you were on Conversation with Eli Moon. You brought your daughter. She is an amazing little girl. She's full of energy. So from one father to another father, tell us about how is it being a father.
So when it comes to being a father, fatherhood is not an easy task. It's not an easy task because as a man, sometimes you have to be strong, but at the same time you have to be stern, but at the same time, especially in my circumstances, you have to be gentle. So I had to operate more in a capacity outside of just being a parent. I have to have emotional intelligence when dealing with my daughters, and I also have to be more. I had to have gentle parenting at the same time because men, we are programmed to be strong, and when you are raising girls, it's okay to be strong, but at the same time, you gotta let them know it's okay to be weak, to cry, to express your emotions and to feel things, because if they don't get that from you, then they'll go searching in other spaces and places that feels good only because you neglected the task of giving them that nurturing that they deserved, or they longed for. So it's not the easiest task, but with God, I have the strength and I have the integrity to move forward the right way in teaching. And my daughter is following that. Like, I have my children in church with me. I have my children when I do things far as like shooting videos or content. I teach my daughter how to do it. I recently taught my daughter how to wash her own clothes. I'm like, hold on, baby. Daddy gonna be here always, but eventually you're gonna grow up. There are things that you are going to need to know so you could do them by yourself. because I can't always hold your hand. You know,
Yeah.
so also teaching independence and also discipline. Letting you know I don't discipline you because I don't love you. I discipline you because I do love you. And I don't want nobody else to take advantage of you because you're not operating at the capacity where it's with respect. So therefore you will get neglect.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're absolutely right. Unfortunately, you get anything, you buy anything in the store comes with instructions.
Yeah.
Parenting don't come with instructions.
It really don't. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I always had the vision of possibly being married and and raising my family like that, but unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. And now, because I feel like you pay for your decisions. You know what I'm saying? And my decisions of who I chose to have children by has caused for me to have to fight a battle where I am the one that's doing 70% of everything. It might be I would say 100, but I don't want to take away the little that is still shown from certain parents of the children that I do have. But at the same time, I would say that you pay for your decisions, man. You pay for it. You have to. I deal, man. I deal because there's days where I don't even get a break, and I have to take my children with me, to places and spaces where I don't even think they should go because it could be a distraction. But at the same time, I don't realize that the learning experience that they get from seeing me is something that they carry. I went to recently go watch Mario. I love
Nice.
Mario. Mario's son, not Mario's son. Mario ain't got no kids.
Hmm.
Bowser's son. Bowser taught his son at a young age, hey man, we're gonna take over the world. We are big bad, and nobody likes us, so we have to create our own authority and we have to create our own world and our own liking to things of how we want it to be. And people will follow us. His son seen that when he was young and he was telling him the stories about their journey and who they are as reptiles, dragons or whatnot. And the son, he held on to that. If you don't teach your children correctly, then they're going to operate incorrectly.
Sure.
And that's exactly what happened with Bowser's son. Bowser's son seen what his dad was showing him. He took it and he maximized it. He said, yeah, oh, this is your vision? Okay, let me get old enough to make my own decisions. Now, I'm going to do exactly what you did, but I'm going to do it in a level where you can't even reach it. And that's why it's important to set the right standard and to plant the right seeds into your children so they don't grow up and they don't refrain from the good teaching. And if they do refrain from the good teaching, they can eventually come back because they were given the proper structure.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Wow, that's good. So speak on like let's talk about like your daughter who you brought here.
Savannah.
I was smiling ear to ear watching her, and then she's following your footsteps
Yeah, man.
with the music, right?
Absolutely.
She really put on a show.
Yeah.
I mean, she did a great job. So speak about, I mean, how I mean, they're following your legacy. This is your, like you were just talking, you're teaching them,
Yeah.
like Bowser. Bowser's son followed his legacy.
Yeah, he did.
That's like your children.
It is.
Following
You
yours.
know what I find so amazing? It's like when I was a child, I I didn't realize that I was going to eventually grow up and carry attributes from both my mom and my dad. I didn't realize that there would be things my mom would show me that I would want to follow. I didn't realize that there would be knowledge and wisdom that was instilled in me from my father that I would carry, but I would take it to another level to a point where it's like, you your daddy's son, or you just like your mama. And then seeing my children unfold, it's like, wow, I'm looking at me in child form and who my parents was trying to mold me to be is who I'm molding my children to be
Yeah.
into leaders.
Yep.
Whatever, my dad always say, whatever you don't like that we didn't show you or we didn't teach you or didn't give you, you have the opportunity to redirect that with your own children. And that is what I'm doing with my babies, man. So seeing that my daughter recently got baptized, I got to baptize her.
I did see that.
I baptized
see
my
that.
baby, man, and she was like, "Hey, Dad, I see her dancing, doing TikTok. She cold with it." I'm like, "Girl, you know how to use the camera better than me." I'm doing content. I'm like, "Baby, I can't really hold the camera by myself. My tripod broke." It gave my daughter an opportunity to be a part of the vision, man. So I said, "Baby, hold this camera. Get Daddy. I need you to get my good side. Come on, come on.
She's-
Don't hold it like that. Hold it like this." She said, "Okay, Dad." Following me. It took a couple slip ups. And then not just that, I started doing content. I started including her in it. So it's like now you're a part of it. You're a part of the vision. You see the good. Now you want to follow the goodness. Like, I like this. This gets Daddy excited. I'm excited to be a part of the happiness of my father.
Yeah.
So then when I was like, I just one day was like, "Hey, baby, I'm about to write you a song. We about to do this."
Yeah.
I found the beat. I started writing. I said, "What you think?" She said, "Let's go to the studio." I said, "Oh, you are my child." Because I swear I would have did the same thing. Got
Yeah.
the beat, wrote the song, and said, "Let's go to the studio." And when we went to that studio, man, it took a minute for her to get right to it. And it actually took us weeks to get the job done. And he is actually, shout out to my boy Hova, man, because he opened the door, man, for me and my baby to come in to plant that seed of the vision that was given from God to me through to my children. And when we were in there, man, he worked with her, man, and he was so gentle, man, but he was so nurturing with her, man. It's like, "Hey, man, she a child, it's her first time, but I'm about to intercede on her behalf. Everything that's inside of her, we're going to mold this thing, and we're going to shape this thing into something beautiful." And what came out the creation was like diamonds going through the fire. It's like, wow. Now I got people reaching out to me, man, like, "Hey, I want to book you and your child to come out to Jacksonville, Florida." This was recently.
Wow.
They what would be a normal registration fee, they say it's canceled. Don't worry about that. Just show face.
Wow.
And I'm just like, wow. You mean to tell me I just one day just like, "Hey, baby, we about to do this." Now I've got my daughter on records before, like doing ad libs or in the background. She's a natural. She's been a natural. I think I got her in the studio first time she was 5, but she 10 now, man. That's 5 years later, man, and just seeing the whoo, it brings a smile on my face. Like, I was so excited, bro, when I heard her verse, bro. At the end, I was like, woo! It was one of them Ric Flair chants, like, in my spirit, like, God, like, you really, man, you doing your big one. Not just to me, but those around me. Like, it's to the point where now the torch is being held with my kids instead of me passing it. We running together.
Yeah.
That
Side by
brings
side, yeah.
that brings a smile on my face, man, because it's like I know a lot of men who have abandoned their kids, man, but I got the task of being the full-time parent, man, with my babies, man. It brings a smile to my face, man, and it makes me cry at the same time because you know the word talks about it in 1 Timothy, man. It talks about a man not taking care of his child is somebody who clearly doesn't love God. I love God so much. But it ain't just about loving God. I love my kids so much that I would never abandon them. I don't care what the circumstance is, man.
Yeah.
I fight every day, man. I fight to keep a roof over their head. I fight to you know what I'm saying, to stay strong for them even in the midst of my weekdays, man. Because at the end of the day, these children don't ask to be here, man. So we got to plant
You're right.
the right seed so they can grow into leaders.
Yeah. 100%.
It's a change makers.
Yeah.
It's a chain breakers.
You're right. You're right. Make or break.
Yeah, make or break.
Yeah, and that, I tell you what, and that makes me smile. I love the father that you are. You know, I love hearing the father that you are, and you were talking about, you know, your faith.
Yeah.
So, talk about your ministry, because I know you have a big one coming up Sunday.
Woo!
You know?
Yeah, you know.
So let's just segue to that. Let's tell me about how you got in. You know, what led you down this path.
So what led me down this path? I was always that young man who just literally, I was a copycat. I was a copycat to goodness. So if I see negativity, I want to do the complete opposite. When my cousins went up that hill, when the auntie said don't go, I said, hey, listen, we ain't supposed to be going over there. What is you doing? Some would say a snitch. I would say I was in my right mind because cousin wound up getting in trouble, and I was at the house not under distress, and I didn't get consequences. I got rewarded, and I remember hanging around friends when I was younger, who had a lot going for themselves, and their parents saying, "You need more friends like Solomon," and I was like, "I'm on the right path. I'm on the right path," but it's not doing it because I'm looking for congratulations or nothing. It's doing it because I see what it looked like to be bad. Being bad don't get you nothing but bad consequences. It don't get you nothing but stress. It get you a label. I don't want to be labeled by negativity. I want to be labeled by goodness. There have been great influences in this world, but they were great influences by the things that they did, but their character was bad. I don't want to have a bad character. That's not something that you can teach. It just has to be natural. It was natural. I was young. I know I got people who were praying for me. Then my mama took me to church at a young age. That's another thing that molded me. You know what I'm saying? Seeing people who were in jail, the pastor, killed his best friend, became a pastor. God forgave him, and now you spreading goodness and you spreading the good news. That type of stuff motivates me. Like, God can turn ashes to beauty. He can breathe life on dry bones. That's enough to make me want to spread good news. Like, hold on, man. You mean to tell me he took this bad individual and turned him into a king? He took this bad individual, Peter, who was cutting ears off of Christians, and turned him into a disciple? Man, if he could do that, man, I want to be the one who take the good inside of me and help the person who see the bad inside of themselves and don't see the good to see the good in them. It makes me want to be the person who is the bearer of light instead of darkness. There's already enough darkness around. Who gonna shed the light? That's where I come in.
Yeah, you're that light.
I'm the light, man. I noticed that when I come in a room, I always change the atmosphere. I always change the presence. My brother just recently had a kickback in my house, right? And he was like, we're going to be doing our thing, but I want you to pray for everybody. Now, if they're going to be smoking and drinking and going about doing what they doing at this event, last thing I think that I'm going to expect to hear from you is I want you to pray for everybody. Because when you're in the world, it's easy to get comfortable with what the world offers. But when you still got God, it's like I still can't forget whose I am. And that goes a long way, and it lets me know that my influence is dire.
Yeah. It's needed.
It's needed.
It's needed.
Yeah.
Needed. So speak on a little bit on what's coming up this Sunday, because I've seen you. We're friends on all social media.
Yeah, for sure.
And I've seen you mention it. So tell us a little bit about Sunday, man. Tell Papa Moon's audience.
Man, listen. So
you're so excited about this
for
one.
so many years, man. I've had a word inside of my heart. It's just been stirring up, and it started with me doing content videos, like giving a word of the day. I even started my own segment. I called it a podcast. It was called Please Help Me Remember God. Ooh, what was it called? What was my? Because I had it going 2 years ago. I had it going. Let's Get Inspired. That's what it was called. I wanted to just give inspiration. It started off with me redoing reels and stuff, doing funny comedy videos. I was getting into my acting. But now I said, no, I need to get into my truth. I got people. When I talk to people, I encourage them. And then I was like, how can I encourage people outside of my own vision? I said, well, start from the word. People always come to me and ask questions about the Bible. Let's see what God is saying about what you asking me. So then I started doing that, and then it got into like, ooh, this is a segment I need to do. When I started seeing major NFL players and major artists reposting my videos, I'm like, oh, you're on an assignment.
Okay.
Then it went from, okay, not only am I on assignment with this, but I'm on assignment with my music. Then I dropped my debut album. I had people like, man, I don't even listen to Christian music, man. This music you make me want to change my playlist. This don't even sound like gospel. Little that I'm not watering it down, but I'm breaking it down like a parable. So I can come to your level to reach you in your place, in your space that you are in right now. Then it got to, okay, this word that I'm giving, when you gonna start your own church? I got people coming to me like, when you gonna start your own church? I want to hear this every weekend. You know what I'm saying? I got people like, I don't even go to church, but I'll come to church just to hear you speak. I'll come to church just to see what God is doing through you so I can grow. Because what you telling me is something that is needed in my life.
Sure.
I don't know how to come to God. I don't know how to go to God. But when I hear you, I believe. I believe in that God that I'm scared to pray to because I feel like I'm not good enough. Man, my bro Chris was like recently like, hey, I got you. You baptizing people. You serving in the church, everything. God didn't just give me this vision in this church for me and my wife, for me. He gave this for me and the other disciples. He said in April I was supposed to go to Atlanta. I didn't go to Atlanta. Something had happened. It wasn't me. It was bad scheduling for the people who came up with the event, and then it conflicted with an event that had went on because the week was Easter, and they got something called 404 Day where it's just like big, like all the big artists, all the big leaders, everybody just come together. So everything booked up, everything. And I ain't gonna lie, I sent the money for everything, but it didn't work itself out. But God's timing is everything. God is not the author of confusion. That's the enemy. You know what I'm saying? If it's not God's plan, He'll let you know it's not His plan. And it won't go as planned.
Sure.
But it will work when it's supposed to work. And that's what happened. Bro was like, hey, you going down to Atlanta. When you come back, I want you to give a word. He didn't say when. He said next month. It's crazy, though. Because last week, when he got done preaching, he like, bro, he said, man, I'm tired. He said, I need a break. He said, bro, it's your time. I want you to preach on Sunday.
Let's go.
I said, you want me to preach? I'm questioning. Why am I questioning what's already been assigned me, what I've already been delivering? It's time. Man, bro, I'm preaching this Sunday, y'all. I am preaching this Sunday. I'm giving my first sermon at a church, meaning I am in charge of helping souls. I am in charge of helping people come back to God. I am in charge of giving a word that's worth receiving. Man, that's so powerful to me because for the longest, I've ran away from it, man. I ran away from it. I was looking at the fact that my camera quality wasn't the greatest on my phone. I was looking at the fact that, well, I don't have a building. I was looking at the fact that, oh, well, I got 3 baby mamas, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't with none of them. I'm not married. I'm a single dad raising my kids, you know what I'm saying? I'm not qualified. Or hearing people tell me on the outside, you might want to get that together, you know what I'm saying? Not realizing that God took some of the worst people and He used them. He used them to help others.
Yeah.
God will turn ashes to beauty. God can take a dead situation and breathe life into it. God can take this young man with 3 kids and 3 children's mothers and make him an ambassador and make him a leader and make him a chain breaker for his generation and his family.
Yeah.
It's not about who you are in your circumstance. It's about your heart.
Yep.
God don't judge us off what we do. He judges us off what our heart produces. My heart is for God and for His people.
Yeah.
Every day I'm seeking God. Every day I'm seeking to be a change. Every day I'm seeking to see how I can help somebody. Even if it's just praying for them. Even if it's just having a conversation with them. We need that. So y'all, Sunday, if you can, pop out. We going up in the name of Jesus.
Amen. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm seeing a common theme with you. You're a provider. You're a teacher.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you want to reach out to people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a common theme. I mean, with your children,
Yeah.
with your ministry. Then also now you're a counselor.
Yeah, man. So I have that's my brother. I'm not about to, hold on, let me
Bring him on there.
Yo, hey, bro, I'm in the middle of a podcast interview with Papa Moon and my boy Eli and my boy Ho. But yeah, we live right now, man. This is the funniest comedian in Cleveland. This is that's Bank. That's his name on Instagram and everything. He is the funny. Hold on. Hold on. Care to tell us a little bit about who you are and why you calling?
No, we're gonna bring him on.
Oh, he want to bring you on, Sean. Hey, okay.
Oh yeah, tell him I'll come on there for sure.
Let's do it.
Yeah. He is funny, man, but he got a story, man. He got a testimony for sure.
Hey, we're booking shows while we're on the show.
Oh, look, look, you see God? Look at God.
Tell him Wednesday and Thursday.
Wednesday and Thursday, his free days.
All right, yeah, we'll link up.
He said we're gonna lock it in.
You already know. Turn me up.
Turn you up. Well, bro, I'm gonna call you back. I'm handling business. I love you.
All right, love you too, bro.
All right. No, y'all, we don't normally
Hey, that's
do
the
this.
first.
Yeah, that was the.
That's a first on Papa Moon, man. That's the first.
We don't normally do stuff like that. Like, that was not an intermission, y'all. That was just one thing about me, I love my family, y'all.
Absolutely.
And I feel like when people call you, especially when they close to you, you got to pick up.
Yeah.
You never know the circumstances and you never know what they need. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, some will be like, hey, that was rude. How you going to just answer a call in the middle of Papa Moon segment? But at the end of the day, your family is everything. And I'm the oldest, so I'm held to a higher standard. You know what I'm saying? My little siblings call me. It's like, especially when I know their circumstances, like, okay, I got to answer, because then that's me neglecting my task of being the leader.
Leader of the teacher.
That's
our common theme.
Exactly. So I have my CDCAs. I got my chemical dependency license. I'm actually with a group called Word on the Street. 501(c) company. We go inside maximum security prisons. We go inside halfway house. We provide opportunities and resources to help them get acclimated back to society, as well as give them opportunities to connect with their families.
Wow.
We done thrown father events. We done thrown Christmas events where we get them gifts and things like that. We done prayed for them. I provide the musical selections and things like that through me. And I also get them hip to other Christian artists to let them know you ain't got to listen to that bang, bang, shoot 'em up and all this stuff that operates in vanity, because that stuff going to wither away and die like flowers. But what made me get into it is because we were going into the prisons. My mentor, Eric, he was like, yo, I need you to get your CDCAs. We all going to go get them together. See, he already had his, but he said, I want you to do it. Man, I was working at Kirk Middle School in East Cleveland at the time as a janitor. And I had young kids walking up to me like, hey, Mr. S. Hey, one young man walked up to me and was like, hey, man, I'm a foster kid, man. My family don't love me, man. He said it's bad enough that I already don't have my real parents, but I got a family who is not my family, and they don't show me love neither. I feel like I'm not good enough. I feel like I don't belong. I feel like I want to give up. Like, I don't want to live this life, And I poured into this young man. He was 15 years old, man. I poured into this young man, and literally, I noticed every time he seen me in the hallway, he wanted to hang out with me, man. And that right there was like, this is why you need to get your CDCAs, because mental health awareness is real, man. And it's not just about addictions. It's not just about conflictions, but it's about the mental. And a lot of times people don't have the same mental capacity you do. Certain things that I can rise up from, others don't have the capacity to rise up from it. They allow it to have power over them, and eventually they give up. And I don't want to see no kids give up before they see the purpose that's inside of them, So getting my CDCAs was like a big step in, like, I could be a help. And then not to mention, I noticed that people who are the most broken are the most are the most open to communicating with me, are the most open to expressing things that I probably shouldn't know. And I'm just like, why me? But it's like, why not you? So working in that field, it helps me to help others regulate their emotions. It helps me to help others wean off of things that they live with that has a hold on them. And we talk about breaking chains. In order to break the cycle, the first step is knowing what it is that's causing the cycle. Once we get to the root of what's causing the cycle, then we can start chipping away at those things. Because humans, we are like onions. We have layers. And sometimes our layers get things that's added to it that's not meant to be there. And once you start chipping away at those things, then you become a better version of yourself that you allowed yourself to become.
Yeah, taking care of one thing at one layer at a time.
Yeah.
One leg at a time. Okay. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely.
You know, and you say, why not me? I mean, I've known you, you know, through Eli.
Yeah.
You know, about a year, or maybe a little over a year, give
Yeah,
or take.
it's been a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're a great guy.
Thank
You
you.
are. You're easy to talk to. And why not you? You know what I'm saying? Because you're approachable.
Yeah,
People can approach you and they feel comfortable around you.
absolutely.
That's why you.
Yeah,
know?
and, and it took me a long time. And then it's also like, I think for the longest I thought it was because I had a people pleaser spirit, because that's what I've had for the longest. But now I realize, like, no, you got a heart for God's people.
Yeah.
God calls for us to be cheerful givers. He ain't just talking financially; He talking about spiritually.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be spiritually aligned to helping God's people.
Yeah.
You know, a conversation can go further than you giving somebody some money for something. I remember one time I was outside, went to go get something to drink, and a young man, not a young man, it was an older man. He's like, "Hey man, you got 50 cents to $1?" I'm like, "Unfortunately, I don't have that, but I could pray for you." He said, "You know what? Don't nobody ever just stop and talk to me." He said, "You praying for me means more to me than that money that I was going to get, because I was about to go get me a bottle. I've been standing out here, I've been begging people, asking them for this, knowing that I don't need it. What you just prayed for was everything that I was going through in my life. Holy Spirit took over me and allowed me to have the proper insight to give this man, to have the resistance to be okay with not having what he thought he needed,
Sure.
so he can go back home and not allow that thing to rule over him." The word says, resist the devil and he will flee from you. The devil don't come in physical form. The devil comes in the form of things, people, places, and things, like a noun, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, the people, the places, the people who we encounter ourselves with, the places we go to, there are good places and there are bad places. And the things that we allow ourselves to deal in. The vices that we carry.
Yes.
So, knowing that I prayed for him and that man was about to go into that store and get that, and knowing that he walked away and thanked me and said, "This means more to me than that bottle. I didn't need the bottle. I just needed God." Woo! You are on assignment.
You're right.
You are on assignment.
Absolutely.
That's why me.
You know, a couple words, a conversation, priceless.
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 A hug.
Hug.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, just you know how you're talking about I do some inspirational
Okay.
videos. You know, I put them out Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday.
I seen one the other day, and I
Yeah.
like how brief it is, because I noticed that the capacity of the mind is so short these
Right.
days. You can't even give enough wisdom for 30 minutes without a person cutting it off.
Yes.
You got to hit them with 30 seconds or less.
Gotta hit them fast.
You got to hit them fast. You got to come in hot, like that pancake. When you put it on that pan and that butter is melting and you start seeing them little bubbles,
You gotta make it
You gotta-
fast.
you got to flip it or you're going to get a burnt pancake.
That's right. We don't want burnt pancakes.
We don't want no burnt pancakes, and we don't want no burnt souls.
Wow.
We don't want no burnt souls.
That's deep.
Because what good is it to gain the world but to lose your soul?
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't know where that came.
That was good.
Holy Spirit, thank you.
That was good. That was real good.
That was.
I tell you, I love watching your content. Like I said, man, you give great inspiration. What's the one you're doing now? It's you're on to what, day 9, day 10,
I'm on day 10.
Of
I'm
100.
on day 11 today.
day 11 of
Yeah.
100.
Yeah, of 100. So, no lie. Shout out to my boy, Lord Luke. One thing I like about my brethren is we hold one another accountable. We don't have to hang with each other every day. We don't have to talk to each other every day. But we always hold each other accountable. He reached out to me and was like, "Hey, bro, I see him. I see him doing his like gym videos. He's doing his gym videos." And I'm like, "Hey, bro, that's dope." He like, "Bro, I did this because I want to get back consistent." Now, my bro has been viral on socials, TikTok, everything. Hundreds of thousands of streams and everything. Signed to a label, all types of stuff. But at the end of the day, one thing we all lack You can have all the talent in the world. You can have all the spunk, whatever it is. If you're not consistent, you're going to go so far of a distance. I know for a fact because I've been at the BETs. I've been co-signed by the Twisters and the Big Tiggers and, and major record labels and kicked it with A&Rs and things like that. I've got the kudos and the accolades, but none of that stuff matters if you're not consistent.
Correct.
They gon' here today, gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
And bro, like, hey, you got something inside you that people need. And it wasn't just him. When you hear something more than one time, you know that ain't nothing but God.
Sure.
Whether it's about you or for you. You know it ain't nothing but God. And he's like, hey, bro, let's do this challenge. 100 days. Consistent, posting, nonstop. It don't matter. I said, what are we posting? He said, anything.
Yeah.
Anything. Because I thought it was just about making videos. He said, no, post photos.
Show your face.
Show your face. Let the person see you. You know what I'm saying? And then what stopped me, like I said, was my camera quality. But then that's me going off my own understanding. Because I've reached people when my hair was done, and I reached them when my hair wasn't done. It's not about what you don't have. It's about being content with what you do have and making the most of it.
Yeah.
That's when the blessing comes. My bro Matt reached out to me yesterday and was like, man, I'm sorry. I've been doing music for this long. I'm not getting no money from it. I'm not getting booked. I just made $2.10 on my song that's been out for months. When am I going to get my just due? He said, I'm kind of upset. I said, bro, the problem is you got the faith, but you deny what's going to be done. It's one thing to have faith. It's another thing to deny what's going to be done because of your circumstances that are unfolding in front of you. I see things as they aren't before they actually are. I don't care if my lights go off. I don't care if my car stop working. I don't care if I get an eviction notice. I'm going to still see God to be God who he is, because this ain't the first time that I've been in a dark space and I needed a light shining upon me. This ain't the first time that I was down and I didn't have the answers. But I guarantee you they was always provided for me.
Yeah.
He said, weeping may endure in the night, but joy comes in the morning. He didn't say which morning, though.
Patience.
He didn't say necessarily wake up in the morning and everything was going to unfold for you.
Yeah.
He said, my yoke is easy and my burdens are light. I would never put more on you than you can handle. But we put more on ourselves than we can handle.
Absolutely.
We tell ourselves when things happen to us, we aren't the head or we are not the tail. We tell ourselves we are failures. We could do no good. We tell ourselves that nothing's going to work out for us. Stop allowing them voices to rule you. You don't have to answer to them voices in your head. Sometimes you need to just silence yourself.
Right.
And just stop to see what God is telling you. Because we go through these things to show us things about ourselves. You're not ready for what you're asking God for. Because you don't even trust what God doing. Why you being developed? If a baby is born prematurely, a baby is going to have some complications. I know, because I was a premature baby. I didn't go to home 3 days like most kids do. I came home in 8 weeks. It took more time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes
To
time.
develop you.
A Rolls Royce wasn't built overnight. But I guarantee you people like driving them, and they'll spend that top dollar on it because it took time, because it was made with care. It was made with love.
Yeah.
You know?
So that's so true. So true.
Yeah,
Wow. I love it.
absolutely.
I love it. So who was your biggest inspiration growing up? Your big now before we got on air, I've seen you got a call from mom.
Mm-hmm.
Chopping up with mom, and yeah. So you know,
Ah!
she looks. You know, like she's one of your inspirations. I mean, just my guess.
Yeah, no. So I would say my mom is one of my biggest inspirations. One thing about my mom, she is resilient. No matter what life shows her or throws her, she keeps fighting. And you're
Yeah.
talking about an individual who was physically abused as a young woman, and then didn't graduate high school. In her 20s, she didn't make excuses for herself. She said, "No, I'm gonna fight back. I'm not gonna allow these things to rule over me." She went and got her diploma. Diploma turned to a degree. Got cancer in the midst of getting her first degree, going back to get her second. Went back and still got that degree, even with cancer. She no longer has cancer, thank God.
Amen.
That stuff motivates me, man. Seeing my dad, man, my dad motivate me, tell me, what I'm saying, nothing comes to a dreamer but a dream. You know what I'm saying? You gotta actually go out and do the work. You know what I'm saying? Seeing my dad still do the work even when it hurts. You know what I'm saying? Even seeing my dad not leave my side made me wanna stay by my kid's side. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Um, Mentors that I have came across. Brother Deacon Wright, man, he rest in peace, man. Taking me to the studio, asking my mama, seeing something in me before I even knew what God was trying to do through me at a young age,
Sure.
and helping me to mold that craft, man, in the middle of his living room, and make my first project at 8 years old. PG, man, he rest in paradise. A man telling me like, you look like this, but what you look like ain't what's inside of you. Seeing that, being called higher even when others saw me as low. You know, People like Will Smith. You ain't gotta cuss in your music to get no Grammy. You ain't gotta cuss in your music to reach people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can still be you authentically. You can still be that tall, lanky, big ear individual and still reap positive benefits. You can still be that nice guy and still not finish last. I mean, he did, but that's not. But it was those things. You know what I'm saying? It was the Kirk Franklins. You know what I'm saying? Hearing about how he overcame foster care. You know what I'm saying? And then God used him to be this big vessel through music. It was the Lecrae's. You know what I'm saying? Bridging the gap from the hood to what's good. The truth and the stuff where people will be like, hey man, we don't want that. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't not look good.
Yeah.
But who said it wasn't good? God created that. God created the day and he created the night.
Yeah.
Everything has a purpose.
Yeah.
It was those things. It was my little siblings looking up to me, man. It was that. My brother Sean, so he told me, he said, you taught me a lot of stuff. He said, you taught me how to get money the right way. You taught me how to be a leader and have a heart after God. My little brother, teaching him how to rap at a young age. Now I hear him calling me excited about going through different catalogs and actually dissecting it. And he one of the dopest lyricists I've ever met. I'm like, who taught you that? You had a reason. You had a reason. It was my little sister. You know what I'm saying? My little sister looking up to me. You know what I'm saying? Calling me, telling me, I'm proud of you, bro. You the reason why I fight to be a great mom and to my kids, you know what I'm saying? Even when hardships come against me. You the reason why I press in God when things ain't working in my relationship. Like that type of stuff, like it goes a long way. Family members telling me, you my hero. You got the strength to do the things I wasn't able to do. You got the strength to get up and talk. You know what I'm saying? From a place of pain, in a place of pain, even when I don't have the strength. That stuff. People telling me, hey man, I heard your word and it inspired me. Little cousins coming up to me like, cuz, I started going to church. Cuz, I'm watching podcasts. Cuz, I seen your word and it motivated me. That stuff is what inspires me. What inspires me is seeing other people change.
Yeah.
Other people get motivated to be great. Because we all are great. It's just knowing what your greatness is. It's just knowing what your purpose is. We all was formed to be something special, but everybody don't know what's special in them.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, when you're ready to sit it down on the couch, have the grandkids running around, you're sitting it down. What legacy do you want to leave?
The legacy that I want to leave when it's all said and done for my babies is to always be an upstanding citizen. Don't ever conform to what everybody else is doing. Be comfortable in being yourself.
Yeah.
I gave a word yesterday, Romans 12:2. It said, "Be not conformed to the pattern of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." You don't have to water yourself down to fit in. You don't have to fit into the standard of others who will change their standard every week. You don't have to look at reality TV and music and hear all these things and think, if I was like that, then I could be so much further ahead. You are where you are because you are where you're supposed to be. And that stuff comes with time. The key is to be the best version of you. Not just in you, but in God. Keep God first. Follow your dreams and never give up. And be kind to others.
Yeah.
Because that goes a long way. There are a lot of bullies in this world, man. And I was bullied on a lot growing up, man. And I never understood why, but now I understand why. Because light and darkness don't go together. Darkness don't like light. Because I got my time of the day, you got your time of the day.
Yeah, don't shine light on me.
Don't shine light on me.
Yeah.
Because what they say, the freaks come out at night. The freaks ain't gonna be able to come out at night if it ain't no night.
Right. Because of the light.
Because of the light.
Let's go.
Exactly.
Let's
you
go.
feel me? So I just want I just want my legacy to be, you know what I'm saying? Just be you.
Yeah.
Be true to you.
Okay.
There's too many copycats out here.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, what you got inside you is needed.
Be an individual.
Yeah, be individual. Yeah.
So we're coming to the end of this episode, and I'll open up the floor.
Yeah.
You get the last word.
For sure.
Of the conversation here, and I want you to look at Papa Moon's
Sure.
people think and
The audience.
tell them something educational, inspirational. Leave them with something good. And I know you have it. You've a lot of good stuff today.
Thank you, man.
Lot
I
of
would
good
just
stuff.
say this. Nobody said that this road would be easy. There will be days when you want to give up. There will be days when you feel like you're not good enough. There will be days when you feel like you don't belong. But keep on holding on. Keep on holding on to your faith. Keep on holding on to your strength. And keep pushing. Because the more you keep pushing, eventually you're going to get to where you're supposed to go. Think about a baby. When a baby is born, a baby crawls. A baby don't even crawl right away. A baby sits up and their head is just like this. And they like a dinosaur. A big dinosaur, a T-Rex. Big head, little arms, right? See yourself as a dinosaur. Big head and little arms. I have to start from somewhere to get to somewhere. You gotta crawl before you can walk and run before you can fly.
Yeah.
So, knowing that, although everything does not look how you want it to look, eventually it gets better. That's what I want to let you know.
Amen. So I want to thank you for coming on, sharing
Thank you
your
for having
story.
me, man. It's a blessing.
It was a great time. I really enjoyed myself. You
Absolutely.
got a lot of knowledge. So where can they find you? What's upcoming?
Y'all can find me on IG at Only1 DFG Sul, Facebook Sul Al Jalil. I'm going to change that soon because it's like, hold on. Only one. We might as well put it on everything because it's only one me. It's only one you. You know?
Absolutely.
And y'all can follow me on TikTok, Only1 DFG Sul. What I got upcoming? I just dropped a music video to my song Falling. That's on all platforms. Link is in my bio on my socials. I I have a project I'm about to release. I'm about to release a tape, y'all. It's time to drop some more heat on them, man. When I say God's been giving me so many songs. It's just time to just let it go. Just let it go. If you got it in your notes, in your camera roll, just let it go. Let it go. It's no use to holding on to what God gave you.
Yeah.
Somebody needs that. Somebody needs a picture of you just smiling. Somebody need to hear that song that you feel like you don't like. I'm telling you, that might be meant for somebody else. Somebody needs it, man. I am planning on shooting a bunch of videos with my guy Hove over there and a bunch of other dope individuals. I plan on starting a podcast soon. I think I got a lot of great insight and a lot of great wisdom and a lot of great knowledge. And it's not even me. It's God. It's God through me that allows me to formulate and communicate effectively when I do get on these platforms and be the individual that I am. I also plan on releasing I got a movie coming out soon, y'all, this summer called Street Heroes, man, with my boy Deuce. Shout out to Kelvin Deuce, man. Dope individual, man. This is going to be amazing. Y'all going to love it, man. I got another mental health awareness movie coming out soon, man. God is doing some amazing, miraculous things. I'm about to be in Montana, Nebraska, man, in June 26th. I'm getting flew out to Montana, Nebraska, y'all. Flew out, ministering, and it's going down, man. I got so many great things. I got some shows coming up. We got some Moon Bash coming up in July, man. Like, it is going down. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I can't even tell you everything because every day is something new. You know, every day is a new day to receive and to believe, man. So just stay tuned and just know that all things are working for the good of those who love God, who are called according to his purpose. Romans 8:28. I'm out.
So, again, we thank you for coming on.
For sure.
You guys can follow us, Inside Edge, on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, X, TikTok, and subscribe to my channel, my YouTube channel, Papa Moon.
Yeah.
Real
Shout out to
Talk with
Papa, man.
I appreciate you.
For sure.
And I'm going to leave you guys with, if you're in a dark spot, you don't have to go through by yourself. If you're carrying so much on your shoulders, you don't have to carry it alone. Reach out to the people who love you, who care about you. Mental health is serious, and we need more awareness for mental health because we don't have enough.
I agree with that.
With that being said, we're going to come to an end. We're going to say, stay real, stay kind, and remember, your voice and every voice matters.
Yes, indeed.
Love you guys.
Peace.
Hey, I got something to show you guys. Take a look. It is spring. Happy spring to all of you. Take a look at what we have here for you from AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Beautiful spring scent candles here for you. Hand poured with premium fragrance and essential oils. How about this? Our coconut soy wax candles bring fresh, uplifting spring scents to your home. Made with clean, natural ingredients, they're a mindful choice for sensitive spaces and those who love effortless, seasonal fragrances. You got to check it out right now. There's the soft bloom and the lemon bar candles, all healthy ingredients, all from AlleyRoseFragrances.com. And if you're a first-time customer, use the promo code InsideEdge20. That's InsideEdge20. Get this for yourself, for your friends, family, everyone. You want a good-smelling home, AlleyRoseFragrances.com will make it happen. Again, AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Get the new spring candles. And when you order, if you're a first-time customer, InsideEdge20 is the promo code.
Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Ryan and Hallie Mosser. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio, but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at MosserMomentsPhotography.com. Clean energy, bold flavors, no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Helps you lock in and focus. Over 15 absolute fire flavors to choose from. Visit Dubby.gg and use promo code InsideEdge10.